The salary may have caught your attention, but before you decide customer success management is your next career move, you need to understand what employers are actually asking you to do and whether your experience provides the evidence they need. This chart shows the realistic, guaranteed base salary ranges for customer success managers based on current market data. Developing or lower complexity roles offer between $70,000 and $100,000. Established mid-level roles fall between $90,000 and $125,000. Moving up to enterprise or highly specialized accounts brings those guaranteed figures between $115,000 and $150,000 or more. Notice the visual split between guaranteed base pay and total compensation. The highest advertised number on a job board is frequently not a guaranteed salary. Employers often lump performance bonuses, commission, equity, or on-target earnings into a single figure. You have to determine exactly which portion of that number is guaranteed before you factor it into your financial planning. To earn that compensation, you have to deliver specific outcomes. A customer success manager steps in after the sales team closes the deal. Your job is to ensure the customer actually receives measurable value from the product or service they just purchased. This table shows the difference between how the role is perceived and what it actually is. It is a mistake to view this as a customer service position where you simply answer questions or handhold a client. You are there to drive product adoption, resolve complex problems, and protect the company's revenue by securing renewals and expanding the account. Accomplishing that requires extensive cross-functional coordination. A normal work week involves acting as the bridge between the customer and your internal teams. You will spend your days coordinating with sales, implementation, technical support, and product management to clear roadblocks and ensure the customer achieves their expected business outcomes. This creates a difficult situation for experienced professionals. You see the salary and the strategic nature of the work, and you know you can do it. But you look at the job requirements and feel disqualified because you lack direct SaaS experience or have never held the exact title of Customer Success Manager. Current postings routinely ask for 3 to 7 years of specific experience for established or senior roles. Faced with those requirements, highly capable professionals from operations, healthcare administration, and training programs prematurely reject themselves from the applicant pool. Overcoming that barrier requires a shift in how you communicate. You have to stop listing your daily tasks and start translating your past responsibilities into the specific language of business outcomes, adoption, and retention. A successful, high-paying career pivot depends on proving how your previous work drove specific results. The employer needs to see clear evidence that the operational workflows and stakeholder relationships you managed in the past will translate directly to protecting their bottom line. We handle this translation through a strategy called the scenario match. Your non-tech background contains highly transferable skills, provided you target the specific niches of customer success that value those exact strengths. This skill translation matrix shows exactly how different professional backgrounds map to the role. Look at healthcare administration and operations. Your transferable strengths are obvious to an employer in the healthcare technology sector. You already know how to coordinate complex departmental workflows and step in to resolve systemic process failures. But you must also recognize your likely gap. Operations professionals rarely hold formal ownership over recurring revenue metrics or contract renewals. You have to proactively defend this in an interview by showing how your process improvements saved money or retained clients. Now consider professionals transitioning from corporate training or leadership development. Trainers bring a distinct set of strengths. You have proven frameworks for conducting needs assessments, driving behavior change, and influencing stakeholders to adopt new practices. That is exactly what an employer needs when a client's employees refuse to use a newly purchased software platform. The expected gap here is commercial. Trainers typically lack direct enterprise account ownership and experience tracking SaaS customer health metrics. You will need to demonstrate how you tracked educational progress and tied your training programs to organizational goals. Technical support and implementation professionals have an easier time proving their strengths. You already have deep experience with product configuration, technical troubleshooting, and guiding clients through complex onboarding phases. The barrier you face is moving out of the technical details.
You must prove to the hiring manager that you can handle strategic account planning, manage high-stakes renewals, and communicate effectively with senior executives, rather than just closing support tickets. Missing the title of Customer Success Manager does not mean you lack the qualifications. It means you must anticipate the specific gap associated with your background and provide measurable evidence to bridge it. Providing that evidence starts with your resume. If you rely on generalized phrases like managed relationships, recruiters will immediately filter you out of contention for mid-level or enterprise roles. You need to audit your past performance. Dig into your history and extract the metrics that may not have been formally tracked at the time. Look for evidence of improved retention, faster problem resolution, major workflow improvements, or specific adoption rates. This document compares a weak resume bullet on the top to a strong, evidence-based alternative on the bottom. The phrase managed customer relationships tells the employer nothing, but conducted quarterly performance reviews and developed corrective action plans for accounts showing declining engagement proves you know how to identify risk and protect an account. The same rule applies to product adoption. Instead of writing helped customers use the product, rewrite it as a quantifiable business result. State that you developed and delivered role-based training that increased active product use within 6 months. Do not invent accomplishments. Never rename unrelated work or claim direct SaaS experience you do not possess. If the job requires advanced knowledge of APIs, cloud environments, or cybersecurity architecture, and you do not have it, a resume rewrite will not save you. Employers do not actually care about your previous job title. They care whether you can demonstrate historical results that prove you can resolve their customers' problems and earn stakeholder trust. Because the title Customer Success Manager is unregulated, the role varies across the industry. You must aggressively vet the employer to ensure you aren't walking into a role that is poorly defined. Investigate the exact responsibility boundaries in the job posting. Determine whether the role focuses on owning customer outcomes, or if the employer expects you to perform every single post-sale function by yourself. Avoid the catch-all trap. If a company expects one person to sell, implement, train, support, renew, expand, and troubleshoot, with no clear handoff between departments, they're setting you up to fail. This red flag checklist highlights the immediate financial risks you need to look out for. Postings that disguise conditional on-target earnings as guaranteed base salary, hide the size of the customer portfolio, or blend sales and support quotas are warning signs you cannot afford to ignore. Use the interview to ask critical questions about the actual customer portfolio. Ask how many accounts you will manage, the average contract value, and what portion of the current portfolio is healthy versus already at risk. Listen carefully to how they describe their workplace. There is a wide gap between a company claiming a collaborative culture and a company demonstrating culture-to-action evidence. Look for observable proof, like realistic account loads, adequate onboarding resources, and consistent escalation procedures. Accepting a role with unclear revenue boundaries, zero technical support, and a portfolio of failing accounts guarantees you will be held accountable for business outcomes you have no power to control. To navigate these postings efficiently, we use a strict objective framework to determine which opportunities are actually worth the effort of translating your resume. This flowchart maps the exact conditions to act. Apply when base compensation meets your needs and the portfolio is manageable. Investigate when skills carry a different title or variable commission is ambiguous. Skip if salary is disguised or mandatory advanced tech is required. If you are a transitioning professional, your highest probability of success lies in selectively targeting specialized niches. Look for roles in healthcare technology, educational software, or implementation-heavy positions that align with your past industry knowledge. Focus on what you can control. You control how carefully you read the posting, the questions you ask during the interview, and how honestly you translate your background into measurable results. Severe technical gaps and strict enterprise SaaS requirements must be respected. However, lacking the exact title of Customer Success Manager is an obstacle that can be overcome with targeted, well-documented evidence of your past performance. Customer success management is accessible for professionals who can prove outcomes, but it demands rigorous employer vetting. Investigate the opportunity before you submit the application.